online coach will struggle to not hit multi-six figures and above if they do these 11 things right here. Now, this is not just theory and a few things or the title of a YouTube video that was created and then we created the 11 things on the other side. Instead, it was actually taken from 13 years of data of utilizing Facebook ads, social media, email marketing, etc., as well as almost 9 years now of coaching online coaches to grow their coaching business, having worked with thousands of them. This is just absolute data of the most important 11 things that they actually need to do. I actually originally wrote at the top of this as a bit of an exercise for further optimization. An online coach will struggle not to hit multi-six figures if they do these things. I didn't know it was going to be 11. These 11 things are the most important things that came outside of it. And on top of that, we were able to also filter it into outside of marketing. What do they need to do? The foundations to be able to make the marketing actually generate sales, revenue, profitability. And then outside of the marketing as well, what systems outside of that do they need for further levels of scale? And if you've got no idea who I am, I'm Neil Shoney Mac. I have helped thousands of coaching businesses across the last almost 9 years now to grow their coaching businesses through Facebook ads, social media, email marketing. Facebook ads is the main thing that everybody comes to us to, but we build out fully customized marketing game plans for each individual coach that we work with every 6 weeks with a one-to-one call in between each one to further optimize. And that is what allows us to share incredible proof every single day on social media and emails to showcase what's happening, not with a unicorn client, but what's happening daily with the coaches that we are working with. And what we're about to go through here, these 11 points of data, these super practical things that you can do to generate more clients, more sales, more revenue, more profitability in your coaching business is going to completely change the game for you. And so if these types of things are valuable to you, then please hit subscribe, hit like, and if you're a really good human, drop a comment below. Other than that, into the video. Okay, so the very first thing that we're going to do here is we're going to dive into outside of marketing. And I just want to point out as well, these 11 things, this did not start as 11 things or a YouTube title for a video. This actually started as a brain dump. I just wanted to see what I came out with on the other side with, 13 years of data from my own standpoint and around 9 years of data closely working with coaches, thousands of coaches in fact across a multitude of different niches and price points and continents and all of those different metrics. I wanted to take into account everything and try and simplify the process of the boxes that need to be ticked to hit multi-six figures and above. I had no idea if this was going to be 5 or if it was going to be 55. 11 things is what came out the other side, and then I structured it into outside of marketing, inside of marketing, and of course the systems to further scale as well. And so let's dive into outside of marketing, because it's really, really important that we get this right before we start flooding your coaching business full of predictable leads. If you have predictable leads, but you don't have the foundations right, you're not going to be able to convert them into clients, and you're going to have a lot of leads, no sales, and you're not going to hit multi-six figures, okay? So the very first thing here is have a clear offer with a good pricing structure. Might sound simple, and a lot of people go, well, I do. It's very fair pricing. I back myself. I know my worth. That's one that I hear a lot from coaches that jump onto a call with us before signing up, and they go, yeah, I sell my coaching for $7,000, and it's you only get 5 calls with me, and how many clients do you have? None. Nobody will sign up. Everybody says that they can't afford it. It seems like it's a really tough time in the market. Sometimes it's just that you actually don't have a good enough pricing structure and it's not appropriate for the product or even where you are inside your coaching business right now. One of the easiest hooks that mentors use to get people into their mentorship is we'll help you double your prices or more, because everybody just sees it as, wow, you're going to help me double my prices. Unbelievable. I can tell you to double your prices right now. Not to say that that shouldn't happen, but it might actually just not be the right thing for you to actually open the floodgates and make a lot of sales. Now, as an example here, Azu, who when he came on board, I think it was about 2 months ago now, he jumped on board with us. And when he first came on and we were doing a kickoff call, and he said to me, I've actually had leads. Like, I had people who have reached out to me, and I've had people on go through lead magnets, and I've had people that I've opened up conversations with and got them to the call, but almost nobody buys on the call. And I said, okay, well, walk me through the offer. And he said, okay, so it's this, and he was this incredible software that he had built for people to be able to source property deals, etc., etc., etc. And he was saying, and the amazing thing is, they get all of this, and it's 12 months, and it's only 3K. And I said, okay, so I'm not going to ask you to, inverted commas, discount here, but do you have any problem with doing it as a 6-month offer instead of 12 months and doing it for 1,500 rather than 3K initially, just to see if that opens the floodgates for sales here? The thought process behind it is there's 2 key levers that you need to pull here, which is what is the barrier to entry today in terms of pricing? And second of all, most people can see that you have a great coaching product, but they actually don't believe in themselves that they can hold themselves accountable for 12 months. And so when they sign up to something for 12 months, they feel like they're going to waste the second half of it. So I said, if you can overcome both of those objections there, lower the barrier to entry, going from 3K to 1,500, and then lower the time commitment from 12 months to 6 months, you've overcame 2 objections just by making 1 adjustment to your pricing structure. He took it for a spin, opened up the floodgates. He couldn't believe it. He was posting inside the group immediately about how the easiest sales calls he's ever had. People are signing up hand over fist. And now we've got it to the point where he just did a masterclass there. He collected 40K from the masterclass. 40K, British pounds, by the way. 40K collected from a live masterclass. He spent 600 on ads, made 40K back, and guess what? He is now in the pricing structure of 6 months for 2K. So he's actually making more for his time than he was with a pricing structure in which he actually wasn't selling. Okay, and so if you want your coaching product or your consulting product to sell more, then adjusting your offer to the point in which it is irresistible to your market massively opens up the floodgates. You might only need a small number of leads to come through for you to have massive growth in your business. Never mind the 8 different marketing tools that I'm about to tell you here that you can pull to generate exponentially more leads as well. Okay, let's go into number 2 here. So number 2, and as I literally go through this, I'm like, this was last week, so I'll come across it like you will. So have a product both capable of getting great results and even better examples of this occurring. This is the key one here, right, that most coaches don't do. So they have a great product, right? So they've taken tons of time and effort to become a great coach, to understand how to teach. So it's not just about having the smarts, but understanding how to teach it and how to implement it for people. They put the time and effort into how they structure things so it's easy for the people on the receiving end to use and get amazing results with it. Where do they fall off in terms of actually growing their coaching business with this? Well, they struggle to get the proof, okay? And so they'll say things like, well, I don't want to ask them, I don't want to annoy them, I don't want them to feel like they've been put on the spot. What I've always said is that, especially when you position it in the right way, the majority of clients that you work with will be so appreciative of the results and the life-changing results that you've got them that they will want to see you win as well. And so when you ask them, any chance you can put a video testimonial together, or I don't know, send me a message or something along the lines detailing the results that you got or something to that effect, the majority of the time they're no problem at all. Thank you so much for everything. I'll get that across to you in the next hour or so. They're so up for supporting you. But further to that, you can have other things in place to make this easier to gather, right? A really, really simple one is start asking the right questions. If you're not going to ask the right questions in Facebook groups, in the DMs, on feedback forums, check-in forums, and things of that nature, if you don't ask questions, you can't get the answers. What's the 3 biggest wins this week? Ask that question. What's the biggest win of the month? Ask that question. And when you get the written responses, screenshot, blur out anything that's got any personalization around it so they don't feel awkward when it goes out there, so it's completely anonymous, but you've got that massive win and you can share that story. And when you've got great wins coming in and you have an abundance of wins that you can share on a day-to-day basis, it really builds up over time. That social media following that you put effort into, that social media content that you share, the ads that you run, all of these things, the masterclasses, whatever you ever put together, the slideshows, the super spike offers, everything that you do with your marketing becomes exponentially easier to generate leads and sales with when you lead with incredible proof. And if you don't have that proof, even though you've got amazing results for your clients, you can't showcase it. So get good at asking for the proof, or ask the right questions so that the proof just continues to roll in on a week-to-week or a month-to-month basis. Okay, let's go into number 3 here, and the first one for marketing. So we're almost starting at foundations and working our way up. Okay, so first one here is post once a day using our 7-day content structure and use our templates. So I was obviously doing this with the mindset of it being one of our coaching clients, but I'll walk you through exactly what this looks like so that you understand it to a really easy to implement structure as well. So a big thing that everybody gets wrong with content, and by the way, when I made this into a full YouTube video, I think it was the most popular and most commented on YouTube video that I've ever done, including the one that really caught fire with Facebook ads. This one actually had more comments and more feedback, and still get messages now from people off the back of that, even though it was like 2 years ago. How to save yourself a ton of time with your content, but actually generate yourself more leads and sales from it. Because tons of coaches are spending the majority of their time and the majority of their week trying to come up with the content, trying to write it, trying to edit images, and then they put it out there, and what does it gather? Complete dust. Not clients, certainly not leads, dust. And so what do you need to do differently to save yourself a mountain of time and actually start generating leads from your daily content? And remember, daily content, when nailed, is a daily, not a weekly, a daily opportunity for you to generate leads and for you to generate sales. So getting this right saves yourself a ton of time and is a daily opportunity to sell coaching products. And so what you need to do here, and we get all of our clients to do this, we have a daily content structure, and they should be able to walk into every single week with a master document that says Monday is this type of post, Tuesday is this type of post, Wednesday is this type of post, and so on and so forth. Because most coaches, first of all, just share educational content, all right? And you're not going to generate a lot of leads and sales from that, if any whatsoever, by the way. You become an entertainment channel where people don't reach out to you, they just wait for the next video or the next post, okay? You actually need to share an array of different styles of content. So we're talking about proof-based posts, pain point posts, objection handling posts, lifestyle, emotional story-based posts, and educational posts, and some others are available inside there as well. And when you know the type of coaching business that you're in and the type of things that you're going to encounter on a month-to-month basis, the different types of objections, the different type of pain points at the different times of the year, you can structure this in a way in which you don't have to have that like anxiety around having to start writing your content for the next week and trying to come up with what that is. You can actually just open up a document, and you know that the first one's a proof-based post. So if you did step 2 that we talked about inside this video, you can just simply go and grab some of the proof that happened in the last few days, and that becomes one of the stories for your Monday post. If the Tuesday post is educational, you don't have to come up with 7 anymore. So you can just think about, what have my clients been asking me? That's a great place to look for inspiration. Go into Instagram, go into your insights for the last 365 days and rank it based upon the highest reach or the highest likes of any post that you put out there. Find the things that really triggered and were high impact in terms of engagement with previous pieces of content. That's a great place to look for inspiration. Perhaps use ChatGPT for further ideas off the back of what you can share with them has historically worked with you. Give me 10 more ideas that are in line with this great post that I shared 8 months ago that has done better than anything else that I've shared since, right? So loads of things that you can do there. But the key thing here is for you to, number 1, be consistent, at least 1 post per day. That does not mean that you need to spend 2 days a week putting this together. You need that content structure. So keep it simple with Monday is this type of post, Tuesday is this type of post, Wednesday is this type of post, and so on and so forth, okay? And finally, you need an array of different content types. If your daily content is going to become a thing that actually generates leads and sales, it cannot quite simply be educational content. How to do this, the fastest way to do this, my number 1 tip for this. It has to have that. It has to have 1 or 2 of those posts per week. But you need those pain point posts, the objection handling posts. You need the proof-based posts. They are so unbelievably important for the foundations. And a lot of the time when coaches come in with us, they will go from spending 1 to 2 days a week on their daily content to something that takes 1 to 2 hours per week. but it yields so many more leads and sales off the other side of it. And content touches everything, by the way. The next time you put out an offer, it's going to be, the results are going to be predicated on how good your content was ahead of that offer going out. When you run ads, people are going to click your profile at the top of the ad and go through. They're going to go through to your profile and decide whether they want to take action on your ad. So if you want better ad results, you need better daily content as well. It's not ads instead of daily content. The most successful coaches that I've worked with who have hit over 7 figures per year inside their coaching businesses, they still share daily content on socials. It's that important. So that's number 1 for marketing. Okay, let's go into number 2 for marketing here, and number 4 overall out of the 11, which is to... It's always one of these 2 at the top. It's always one of the 2. Post on stories once per day with 3 to 4 per week, sharing 1 slide with proof. Very powerful. So, posting on stories is an incredible opportunity to reach far more people very often than you will out of your following than the daily content that you actually share on Instagram and Facebook, right? So if you want to reach exponentially more people, stories is one of those key places to make that happen. And there's so many tools inside your stories that allow for people to show you levels of engagement and to be able to start great conversations on the other side. Or indeed to get people to immediately just click a button and go through. At our last live event there 2.5 weeks ago in Glasgow, everybody flew into Scotland for the event, which was amazing, and we actually got people leads and book calls in the room during one of the sessions from one simple thing where we showed them, it was like 15 words. Copy and paste these 15 words onto one story slide and use the link sticker button and use and get people to immediately click through to your calendar. Now, some people right now will do what people said in the room. Should they not go to my application form? Remember, the only people who even see your stories are the most engaged people. The only people who are getting to that story slide are another tier of engagement. The only people who are clicking the button are another level of engagement. And the people who are willing to book onto your calendar are even warmer than that once again. You want to make it easy for the warmest of the warmest of the warmest of the warm of the people who know who you are to book onto your calendar. Okay, so sharing stories every single day of the week with 3 to 4 of them across that week actually being proof-based. This is an amazing place for you to be able to share proof, by the way. If you shared only 7 posts per week on your socials and you shared 3 to 4 of them were proof-based, it would be overwhelmed, and people who visit your profile wouldn't follow you because they'll think that it's just, going to be a whole bunch of proof and sales stuff, etc. Right? So 1 to 2 posts being about proof instead is more powerful. But stories is a place where things are there for 24 hours and then they disappear. It's a really powerful place to share proof more frequently. And if you want to be able to share proof almost every day and have that kind of level of impact, with proof being probably the most impactful type of content that we can actually put out there for actually generating sales, then having them on different days. So if you post proof on a Monday on your feed, then for instance on the Tuesday, post proof inside your stories with a different story or a different medium. So video maybe on Monday on your feed, and then a screenshot message from a client on Tuesday inside your stories. And this allows you to do it more frequently. Okay, really, really powerful. Let's go into the third one here for marketing. So share 1 to 2 freebies per week that people can DM you for. Now, people get stuck with this, right? Because, well, first of all, they don't actually know how to use it, so I'll get to that in a second. But the second thing here is they think there's a lot of time, energy, and effort that goes into actually creating this and doing it. But this right here, for simplicity, is quite simply offering people the opportunity to DM you to get their hands on something. So they do not need to give you their name, their email address, their phone number, etc., etc., etc. Instead, they could actually quite simply send you a DM and they'll get immediate access to it. It's an amazing low barrier way to get the warmest of the warm once again. The people who are seeing your content are the warmest of the warm. The people who actually read the posts are even warmer. The people who will reach out on the other side of the post are warmer once again. So those people who are reaching out are problem aware and currently seeking out a solution. It's an absolute goldmine to be able to have those people jumping in to your DMs and starting that conversation directly with you. So you do not get their name, you do not get their email address, you do not get their phone number, but you do get a great conversation started with somebody who right in that very moment is trying to solve the very problem that you help people with. It's an amazing way to generate leads every single week. Now, we have 5 ways to promote this in under 5 minutes per action step. And so when our coaches have this on their game plan, for instance, we first of all have templates so that they can create these in under 5 minutes. And I mean under 5 minutes. Google Docs, 5-step checklist, templates. We have all the stuff there for them to be able to create this super quick. And then on top of that, we have the 5 different things that they can do in under 5 minutes each to promote it, which gives them 5 opportunities per thing they give away per week. And it's only taking them 5 minutes to create, 5 minutes to action step each one, which means in under 30 minutes, they have 5 different ways to generate leads from this one action step. That's how powerful this can be. So the warmest of the warm coming into the DMs, and it doesn't have to take a lot of time. When you don't know how to do it, when you don't know how to create the right thing, when you're just taking something that nobody wanted in the first place, like an ebook that you bought 3.5 years ago that's sat in your downloads, those things are not going to yield. This is. So this is the way that you do it, and it's an amazing strategy for any coaches, especially if you're putting this level of effort in with the foundational stuff. Doing this can massively yield leads on the other side. Okay, going into the next one here. Going into the next one here. So number 6 overall, have a repeatable ad system. Let me get this. Have a repeatable ad system that generates book calls or sales plus emails and phone numbers to grow assets to further sell from. Now, this is where people get ads wrong. They think that they should run ads specifically to grow email lists or SMS lists, for instance. Or on the other side, they think that they're supposed to run ads to get clients. They're not mutually exclusive. You can do both. You can have ads that are running that get a ton of leads, a ton of sales on the other side, highly profitable, highly scalable, and as a bonus, you build a big chunky email and phone list completely for free. So for instance, if you spend $100 on ads, and let's just say it's £1 per lead, you get 100 leads come through, and let's say even one person buys, and it's a £1,000 product, well, you've just made a 10x return on your ad spend, okay? Really simple. 10x return, absolutely amazing. We're ready to scale. But guess what? You also have 99 other people that haven't bought yet, who are problem aware and who are seeking out a solution, who have now joined your email list for free because you've already made your 10x return on the person who bought. Okay, so having that repeatable ad system, this is the most powerful thing that any coach can have to scale their business quickly. Like if your daily posts that you're putting out on social media are absolutely killing and generating you leads and sales, going to 2 posts per day will not yield double the results, because many of the same people that saw post number 1 on Monday will see post number 2 on Monday, for instance. Second of all, the time, energy and effort that has to come up with another 7 posts, create them, etc., post them, reply to comments, all of those different things. If you want to double the results of your ads, you'll almost only need to double the ad spend. Like, you need to reach double the amount of people who are in the appropriate audiences. And the key thing here is that a lot of people will go, oh yeah, but it doesn't scale perfectly. It's not like double the ad spend and you'll get double the results. Well, here's the really interesting thing. It's actually plus or minus about 20%. So in some cases, when Facebook has more data and more budget to work with, they actually are able to find even better quality leads at a better price point, especially if you've started small. And so when you actually scale and you double that ad spend, you might actually end up with more than double the amount of leads and more than double the amount of sales. That can happen as well. And so the most powerful lever that any coach can pull is this right here. But we're talking about like borderline making it impossible to not hit these kind of numbers over time if you're consistent with the things that we're talking about here. This is the number one thing that you can do to get there the quickest. No questions asked. That's it, 100%. And going into the next one here, use emails 3 times per week or more, okay? And so if you have this system here, the worst thing that you can do is not use the emails. If you use the emails is probably one of the most powerful things that we can use. We've got some other things that we'll talk about here that are super powerful as well. But email marketing is so key. If they know how they got there, if you did not buy an email list, if you literally brought them in because you had something that only your target demographic would really want to get their hands on, and then off the other side of it, it was high impact. They loved the thing they got their hands on, and you put them through an email automation sequence that got them to know you, the type of results that you get for your clients, and some big aha moments. What do you end up with on the other side? An email list that is highly responsive. And so you have high open rates, you have high click-through rates, and people taking action in terms of something that costs a very, very small amount to manage. The only people who are spending hundreds per month on email marketing is people who have tens of thousands of people on their email list, or hundreds of thousands. But when you're in that position, you're willing to spend hundreds on email marketing because you get to engage with tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of people who know who you are, who opted into that email list specifically. It's incredible. And so when you're in that stage of 500, 1,000, 1,500, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, and you're still spending less than $100 per month on email marketing, it is one of the highest yield places for high quality leads that will book calls, and you don't have to try and work out like the type of messaging for each individual person on the email list. If you have really high impact emails that are built for purpose, then all you need to do is email the list. That really is it. I mean, of course, like we talk about in our email trainings, the 3 different types of emails. So the 3 emails that they send per week need to actually have 3 different styles. We also give them templates for each of them as well that they can take and edit and make their own, and we share new ones every single month as well. Really, really powerful to do so. But on top of that, the emails, we do talk about segmentation and things of that nature, but a lot of the time your email list is built off the back of a repeatable system. Like we don't get coaches to come in and build 15 different ad strategies over the space of 6 months. We get them to build the right ad strategy once. Like for me, I've got a Facebook ads course that runs in which it was Facebook ads for coaches 2022. Then it was Facebook ads for coaches 2023. Now it's Facebook ads for coaches 2024. And next year it'll be Facebook ads for coaches 2025. Repeatable ad systems. So the same type of people are coming on continuously into that email list, and it's the same thing here for our clients, and therefore the emails do not have to be something that are time consuming, that are complicated, that are techy. It's about sharing 3 emails. We give them the structure, we make it very easy and quick to do, and then we even give them templates for each of them as well. So 3 emails per week is an amazing opportunity, 3 big opportunities per week to generate more calls, more sales on the other side as well. And going into the next one, number 8 here, use SMS 1 to 4 times per month. And so if you've gone to the effort of creating an ad system and you're getting name and emails, if this was like 4 years ago, I'd probably be telling you, let's see what time we're on, 8:33 a.m. Amazing. So if this was, let's say, 3 years ago or 4 years ago, I would probably be telling you right now that if you add a phone number field to your Facebook ads, so name, email address, if you add phone number, it's probably going to about double the cost per lead, right? And that might not be worth it back then, but we're in a position now where, quite interestingly, you can actually get the same price. Sometimes it is 10 to 20% more, so you might spend a little bit more, but the power of that phone number, if you're going to use it, is absolutely incredible. I don't know if you saw what I shared yesterday on socials with Phoebe. One tweak, she had her lead magnet funnel, name, email address, phone number. We went on to a one-to-one call. I said, show me all the stats. It was already amazing ROIs. And I said, we're going to add one step in here. We're going to automate an SMS that goes out after 2 days. One SMS, one implementation point. She posted inside the group like 5 days later. My diary for the next 2 weeks is full with one-to-one inquiries because of that SMS. That's how powerful it is. So would you spend 10 pence more or 15 pence more per lead? Absolutely, if you're going to utilize it. So SMSs are absolutely incredible. Now going into the final couple here. So use a 2-week super spike offer to mop up unconverted leads, and do this once every 6 weeks. So if you're not familiar with super spike offers, this is something that we've now got. We've got somewhere in the region of about 60 different variations of super spike offers inside the program, and we cherry pick the perfect one for each individual coach every 6 weeks. And essentially what it is a 2-week sales opportunity. Now, to your followers, it's not overwhelm. It's not 2 weeks of sales activity in their mind and you're doing this massive launch and all you're talking about is this amazing launch. It's actually 2 social media posts, but we're very strategic about the different things that you can do to get more people to see it across that 2-week period. And so our coaches, I think the record for it right now is somewhere in the region of about 75k that somebody has generated from this. I actually shared Ben's on a YouTube video recently. I'll tag it at the end of this video. But I was saying that Ben has his repeatable ad system. He runs live masterclasses, perfect for his market, high skepticism market, etc. Massively profitable. He does 40 to 50k a month consistently inside his coaching business. Runs masterclasses very, very frequently, builds up email lists, and then we got him to do a super spike offer. And I said, wait until you see all that know, like, and trust that you've built with your audiences. Do a super spike offer. Don't, like, he posts and he says, you know, I'm opening up spaces and things like that. Doesn't really yield anything. He used our super spike offer, or one of our about 60 templates for our super spike offer, followed the 2 weeks. In fact, he even said, I didn't even do everything that was in the 2-week plan, but I got over 40k of new sales, cash collected, without any ad spend, right? That is the power of using super spike offers once every 6 weeks to mop up all of those unconverted leads. Basically what you're doing is you're taking your core product and you are not saying, I'm looking for 5 people. You are not saying, I'm opening up my doors to 2 new spaces. I'm looking for the next few people to come through my program that you've heard about before. Instead, what we're doing quite strategically here is we are taking the core product, the thing you sell the most of, and we're repositioning it into a one-time opportunity. Okay, so for instance, if your program is called the Transformation Academy, then you might do, you know, a Get Ready for the Beach Transformation Special. The price point might be the same, the time frame might be the same, the deliverables might be the same, but what is different is the positioning of it. And all those people that have been sitting on the fence being like, I can sign up to that program whenever I want. He sells it 365 days a year. That person looks at this and it looks like a dream to them, and they jump off the fence into your DMs and say interested, and they're the warmest of the warmest of the warm. They're ready to rock and roll. And you can utilize your socials, your email lists and SMS lists to drive traffic to this, and it can be absolutely incredible, just like it was for Ben as well. And number 10 here is to have a secondary ad system. Now, you do not need to have 2 ad systems to make this happen. I made the point at the start of the video, you don't even need all 11 here, for instance. But if you were to tick all of these boxes, again, over time it would be very difficult to actually not hit multi-6 figures, especially if truly you have done all of this and you stay consistent with this. So have a secondary ad system that generates conversations plus followers. So this would be separated from, it's not a second ad system that is also there to generate emails and SMSs and put them through an email funnel and all of those things. This is actually completely different, and it's all focused upon building audience, starting conversations with people who are problem aware, and then also being able to benefit your super spike offer, your freebies, your stories, your daily content. Do you see how all of these things overlap? These are not all individual strategies, they all help each other. And so this secondary ad system can be quite simply, we call it our 3x reel strategy, and we have 3 different reels that we fully template for our clients. We get them to put these reels together and to play them off each other, how to target them, how to find the target demographic, and we're targeting new followers at anywhere between 40 pence and about £1.50. It depends upon the market that they're in. Amazing opportunity. People can't follow you by mistake with this strategy, so they have to be problem aware, seeking out a solution, visit your profile, read your bio, probably absorb some more pieces of content, and then actively follow you. That's a great follower. Never mind the opportunity to use our DM scripts to take that new follower to a book call in the space of 4 messages. So this is another absolute key to have on top as well. And then finally, after these 10 things, you could 1,000,000%, you could actually have probably about 5 of these rocking and rolling, and you may have already hit multi-6 figures. However, you do all of these things, you're probably going to be there. You want to go to deep multi-6 figures and 7 figures, then this is going to be the next step. You've already got your repeatable systems at this point, okay? So the next step here, you've already got repeatable systems, repeatable or predictable leads and sales coming into the coaching business, consistency of sales, consistency of growth. This is the next step. Bring in the systems, the automations, or the people to support in creating and then scaling. So the time-consuming things that you find right here, you seek out the people that can support in helping you make that quicker, make it more successful, and make it scalable. Okay, that's what we do inside Systems to Scale with all of our coaches who are already doing 6 or multi-6 figures, to help them go to deep multi-6 or 7 figures, we're focused upon a lot of these things. Now don't get me wrong, we have additional strategies that are only for coaches that are in this type of a position. These types of coaches most typically have pretty solid audiences, know, like and trust, a great track record with clients, lots of proof. They're in a position where they have pricing power and different things like that as well. So we have individual marketing strategies specifically for coaches who are already doing those types of numbers and want to get to the next level. We also help them build out more expensive products and things like that for the market as well. But the systems, automations, and people to support them is really, really key. Because when they're able to get their time back to focus on those higher end tasks and to bring in the people that may even be able to do things better than they could ever do themselves because it's their speciality, this allows for all of that scalability as well. Okay? And so I hope this has been a valuable video for you. If this has been valuable, please hit like, hit subscribe, and drop a comment below if this has been valuable. Please let me know below. And of course, if there's any other things, if there's any of these points that you would like a full video on, a deep dive on, let me know below specifically which bullet point it would be or what your biggest takeaway was, and we'll go from there. Other than that, I'll see you on the next video. Can't wait to see you there.